of Atlanta vet Nene Leakes returning to the franchise, plus Bella Thorne proposing to her man has the internet in an uproar. Also did a fake Justin Bieber fool people in Las Vegas. We got the visuals, you decide.
Yo, and joining us tonight, she's a digital creator and host, among other things. Our friend Akilah Ffriend is here.
Yes, so glad to be back here with you guys. I'm ready for the fun.
All right, let's turn up then.
Welcome to Side Dish.
What did we call it? New Tokyo Atlanta?
Tokyo or something like that? I don't remember, yeah.
Wherever you live, listen, you welcome here. Here's Side Dish. We're more than an appetizer. When it comes to pop culture and fun, we are the whole meal.
Akilah, how you doing tonight? I'm so glad to see you.
Good. It's always great to be back with y'all. Y'all are just fun, you know? Y'all make my night.
As you are. Like, you know, your name speaks volumes and is truthful.
Okay, volume.
Familiar friend, back.
Yes.
Let's go.
Are you
Come
hungry?
on, octave level. Always.
Cool, well, we're about to feed you. It's time to feed me. And this guy is the true definition of, I just want to make one trip. Take a look at this.
No. Yo.
Okay. It looks like the NBC Peacock.
Where them fans
Let
at?
him
That's
cook.
what it looks like.
Wow.
Don't you know he's got people who work with him who hate him?
Yeah, he's setting a precedent that everybody else ain't gonna be able to
Collecting
uphold.
all the tips.
Because there's people who have that exact same job who took that 5 minutes and made it an hour.
That's
Oh,
right.
easily.
That's
You know?
right.
Got them
He's
steps
hustling
in.
backwards. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was just hoping he didn't fall, because if he'd have fell while cat, it would have like just snapped his arms off like little Kit Kat pieces, them end pieces.
Yeah.
Man, well done.
Yeah.
Like, do you have like any cheats that you guys do to like get things done like faster and more efficiently?
I invented a little thing that helps me carry all the grocery bags at one time.
What is it? Because I need it.
I made it out of PVC pipe.
Oh.
I can show you a photo of this thing, but you know how you got to make like 10 trips back and forth in the car because you can only carry so many?
Yes.
I made this little thing out of Home Depot, like PVC pipe for like $5.
Is it pretty much like the shape of a J?
It's like 2 J's with a handle in the middle.
Okay.
I'll sketch it out for you.
You're right.
Are we getting this into market?
I don't think something like it currently exists. You could buy it for more, but you can make it for less. So it's like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, imagine it's like a little pipe,
Okay.
a little plastic pipe, and it goes like this up on the ends, right? And then there's another little hump in the middle that's a handle.
Okay.
I get it.
So it's like a handle with 2 hooks coming out.
But it must be heavy enough or durable enough to hold all those groceries.
Yeah.
PVC pipes is
Yes.
durable. Like, I cannot wait to go on this journey with you where you put this product out, sell 10 million pieces of it on Amazon, and then they kick you out the store, only to sell their own version of
Amazon's
it.
choice.
Yeah, because that's how they do when you get popping.
Yeah.
But that's a dope idea, because there's so many people who want to carry multiple things.
Right.
He could have used that thing.
Yeah.
You could do it like a deluxe version.
Yeah, maybe that's the tip. That's what I got to do.
There we go.
There it is.
Sometimes we think our millions will come from, like, I don't know, the entertainment things we do, and sometimes you invent a bag holder.
That's right. Invent a bag holder.
That's it.
Bags need to be held.
Things that people can use.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting to the bag, with the last season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta being considered by many a flop, it seems that Bravo may be going back to the beginning and reaching out to the OG castmates for the next season, which is super exciting for all of us here in Atlanta. Now, there's rumors going around online and a post by Reality Blurb that Kim Zolciak and Sheree Whitfield are returning next season, and Nene Leakes is not. Nene responded to the post saying, "They have never offered me to return. Good luck to season 17 cast we will be watching."
All right.
Was Bravo and Nene, are they ever going to work together again?
You cannot, and I love Nene. She is TV gold, but you cannot sue your boss and then turn around and expect a job. You know what I mean? Once you do that, once you bring the law into it, you just know if you're right, you're right. Hopefully you win.
Yeah.
But you know, regardless, you're not stepping back in that.
Yeah.
So that's over. That's
People
over
don't
with.
like to get lawyered up and have to defend themselves against anything, and then they're not going to offer you a check later. But it's interesting how this season was, because it seemed like Because I don't watch any episodes of it.
Ooh,
Yeah, none of it,
I watched
not
all
yet.
of it.
But like I heard so much about it from a distance, all the things leading up to it. Oh, this terrible thing happened. They
Yeah.
put pictures of this chick
Yeah.
doing what?
Yeah.
If they would have showed the pictures, I think this would have been less floppy.
So okay, Akila, I'm so interested in what your thoughts on this. Let me hit you with mine real quick.
Okay.
I feel like they're washing house. I feel like they're getting rid of a couple people, and I feel like some of it's related to that event, and I feel like the lawsuit was just too close, too much money, and they could have lost it. And, and
Ding,
so I
ding,
think,
ding. I think
they're-
you got it.
I think they're wiping
I think
out
you
a
got
couple
it.
ladies to
Yep.
not even deal with it anymore and trying to get some old school back.
The Brit Eady lawsuit of it all. And I think also they need to take not because I'm a New Yorker, but they do need to take a page out of Real Housewives of New York. They literally just did a completely new cast.
Oh.
That's how you got to do it. You can't mix the old with the new because then you're going to have the newbies trying to like come for the old OGs or the OGs feeling like, why am I sharing a table with these girls? I'm kind of above all this in general. You just need to say it's either all old or all new. But this mixing and blending, it's just not gonna work.
Kind of like a sport. You don't want to mess with people's legacy. Like
That's
say
it
like
too.
say like if you bring Zolciak back off the bench, she ain't been on the show for quite some time. You might be a little rusty. You ain't ready for these new clapbacks,
Not
this
ready.
new shade. People gonna be calling you homeless, mom.
It's interesting because I do think about it like this, and I don't know. Like I've interviewed Kim, but it's been so long, and we all know that they've kind of been going through some troubles. They've been going through some financial issues.
Yeah.
Like allegedly, she's been borrowing money from her daughter. Like she aired that laundry out, and so when you bring somebody back like Kim, who's probably a little hungry.
Yeah.
Like she's going to be with the shits.
Yep.
She's going to be here for the drama
Yep.
and like whatever the clapbacks are. But I also think that was part of the problem with the whole Brit Eady lawsuit, where it's like
Exactly.
going too hard.
Too hard. And I mean, Kim was recently on it's like a botched rendition show that they have on E! About plastic surgery, and so she's kind of been making her round. So that was probably her soft launch back into the RHOA franchise. We'll see.
I'm sure like she didn't do botch because she wanted to.
Ooh.
Don't you know to get that call? Hey, Headkrack, would you like to be on Botched?
Yo, I could look like John Merrick and Google him, right?
The Elephant Man.
And I still wouldn't have been on Botch.
Yeah.
So, like, it would have to be my darkest hour.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's gotta
yeah.
be flicking.
Excuse
I'm down to my
me?
last Cheerio. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, put me on Botched. I'll take it.
Dang.
This
So
is a
she's
big
ready.
business we
She's
in.
ready.
Yeah, that's wild.
All these people, still no Sweetie.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the biggest comeback story. That would be the
is.
greatest
That would
comeback.
be-
And people always
I'm
scoff
not thinking
when
about
I
that.
say
I'm like, yo, low key. If they're gonna do it right. These are the people that you need to bring back. You need to bring back, what's his name? How dreadful. Dwight.
haven't heard that
You
name
need to
in a
bring
while.
Dwight. Yes.
He's a meme guy, right?
He's kind of was like the fashions and helped them with the party planning. And I mean, the thing though, they all kind of surrounded Nene in a sense.
Yeah.
So even the sweetie of it all, yes, I know she was with Kim, but Nene is the one that kind of called out that relationship and how it was kind of iffy.
Dwight kind of dressed like Chris Tucker in The Fifth Element, right?
Low key.
What?
Very
You know what?
very
what?
flamboyant.
Oh, I remember Chris
Marvin
Tucker,
the
the fella
Martian
helmet.
without the helmet.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking of the right person.
Yeah.
But, you know.
All right. Speaking of doing new things, actress Bella Thorne has caused many online to become kind of unhinged after she got re-engaged after she proposed to her fiance Mark M's. So Bella shared this post with the caption, 3 years ago we met, 1 year later he proposed, now 1 year later, so did I.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you know we had to run to the comments. One comment said, I would rather mop the ocean.
Dang.
Another person said, I know she gripping his thighs while her other hand is on the steering wheel. And on the flip side, someone said he proposed to her a year ago and this is how she celebrated that? Y'all are being weird, LOL. I mean, but why do we think that people hate it when a woman proposes to a man?
You know what? Because that's the last piece when we say chivalry is not dead. You know, like
Okay.
I feel, I know there's a lot of women that do propose to their guy, and I think the last commenter, the whole idea of like, no, he proposed already, this is kind of a year in, it's an anniversary. I don't think it's that bad that she kind of showed her love in that way, because he did it first. But in general, ooh, I'm gonna be there in the ocean too, girl, with a broom, because I can't do it.
It takes a very special relationship
Yes.
for this to even be possible. I remember there was this girl And little story time. We dated briefly. It didn't go very far. It didn't get very serious, but we remained friends.
Right.
Like, we didn't get serious enough that we couldn't be friends. Like, very much, we were friends before, friends after. No big deal, no big deal. But then there would be times where we'd go out and we'd meet people up for drinks, or we would just like catch up over cocktails. And if I didn't look out, she would buy my drinks. And that bothered me.
I get it.
She's like, oh no, let me get this. I got this for you. And I was, what are you doing? Like, let me buy me, or I'll buy your round or whatever. And so it's just like, I would feel a little emasculated by this. I would also feel like we should have already planned the wedding. Is how I would feel.
Yeah.
So, like, as a woman, if a man proposes to you, are we starting the clock? Does he have like 1 year from the date of proposal?
I do think 1 year, a year and a half. We could take a little month or two to say, oh my God, this is amazing. I never thought this would happen. But then after that, I'm bringing out the book like, hey, so this date, we got this. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going. I think a year and a half max. These long engagements, I think, is an excuse to kind of creep and say no, or that you were unsure. You know, you were unsure. Unless there was a specific thing, you have to get married at the plaza, and the plaza is not reserved until 3 years later. If it's something like that, fine, but I think anything longer than a year and a half, it's like, why let's just keep dating.
I totally agree. I also think a year is a little soon.
I think a year's a little soon, okay.
I think like he could have gotten down on one knee and was like, you're the one for me, Bella. You've made $1 gajillion on OnlyFans. and then like 9 months goes by and he's like, I wonder if she forgot.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I can back out of this a little bit.
Was that a year ago?
Yeah.
And because she has an OnlyFans, when she dropped to her knee like that, I thought it was gonna be a different kind of video.
Oh, now that would have turned some heads. I think, like, honestly, too, if we get to the point, or when couples get to the point where they're celebrating anniversaries of engagements, after 1 year, like, let's say, oh, this is the 3rd year anniversary of an engagement, I'm like, oh.
What about people who renew their vows every year?
What? Go on.
Because I just thought of Jackie from Basketball Wives, because that's what she did, and it worked for her, because she said, listen, we're planning and renewing our vows every year. That means we don't have to plan a divorce, because we're thinking about, like, marriage every year.
Well, that was damage control, because apparently she was out there doing wrong.
True. Ooh.
Right? Because she had, like, allegedly a baby that wasn't
Allegedly.
Doug Christie.
Doug Christie, yeah. I love a woman who thinks ahead, though. That's allegedly.
I do appreciate a vowel renewal. I would think a yearly vowel renewal might be like, okay, I'll do it if you want.
Yeah. 5 years and then every 5. 5 at the minimum. I like 10 plus. 10 plus.
Yeah.
10 plus, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, like on the dime.
So, like, let's say from your end, though, if a woman drops one knee, proposes to you, like, what's your response? Like, how do you feel about it?
Okay, so I'm not gonna say that I would feel emasculated by it, but like I think the action has to match the energy of the person. Okay. Some women operate in such a boss space that there's certain women I can see proposing to their dudes. But if you're doing that because you feel like I have cold feet or I am not stepping up, you know, like now I feel like I'm being pushed, and set the timer to probably count down to, you know, Exitville.
That's real. That's real.
I got roasted on Instagram one time because I jumped in the comments on one of these street interviews. Yeah. And this guy had asked this woman, like, what was going on, yada, yada, yada. And she was like, she was with this guy for years and years and years. And then, like, he, like, finally asked her to propose. And then, like, they broke up or whatever, all this stuff. And I was just like, I got in there and I was like, if your man, and I'll say this right now to you, if your boyfriend is not proposing to you, we know within 2 years. We know. We hands down, de facto, no.
Agreed.
And so if more than 2 years go by where you're exclusive and nobody's stepping, because if they're stepping out, that's a whole other thing, which, by the way, means no. But if in 2 years he isn't proposing to you, he doesn't want to.
He's waiting it out, unless they're young. That's the only thing I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, live your life. You guys don't need to rush this. But come on now, 30 plus, and we're still doing 5-year relationships. Ciao.
I don't have time for it. If my girl got down and proposed to me, I would feel like I screwed up, and I would not say yes. I'd be like, oh honey, no, we got like, please stand up. We have to talk. We really got to talk now.
It's like somebody finishing your homework for you and turning it in.
Yeah. And that's okay, but then where does it end? Because it's like,
Right.
well, homework is every
like,
week.
It wasn't just homework. It was like my paper I was writing or my book, and you decided you knew the ending of my book better than I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he met her halfway.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like it started off wild, like with the right music cues and everything. It's a completely
That's also,
different scenario.
Little camera in the
by
corner.
the way, he felt emasculated, and that's why he got down on his knees.
Oh, see, I didn't even see that. That's
Yeah. I'm not. What? What? No.
Is she pumping the gas as well?
Yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah, is she the one pushing her foot down on the clutch and shifting the gears?
He made sure his hands were
Yeah,
manicured,
right.
like just for the
Yeah.
Let me
occasion.
blow this hot food off for you before I shove it.
I can't.
Anyway, let's talk about Justin Bieber. He was spotted on stage at a nightclub singing "Sorry," but when we took a closer look, it wasn't Justin. It was a lookalike. Check him out.
Now, you could convince me.
That's Jason Bieber
Jason
of
Bieber.
the Aryan Brotherhood.
I love how he has security, like, in the corner.
Yo, this man not only fooled the DJ, but also scammed the Vegas club out of $10K in bottle service.
know that's
and
right.
he's probably kicked out and banned right after this, and he can't return. Have you ever been fooled by somebody, even a scammer on the street?
No, well, I guess I would never know, right? But I don't think so. I don't think so. That's nuts, though. And my thing is, everyone's on their phones, and that's probably why they didn't really see, like, where's the tattoo placements? Why he look a little buffer than
Right.
usual? He's not crooning enough for me. Like, what's going on? But
Now, that's real Bieber. Yeah, okay.
The guy kind of had the motions.
Yeah,
and movements.
wait.
I mean, you know.
Here's the thing is, that's all. That guy is a whole lot healthier than Justin Bieber is right now.
that's the main thing.
Yeah.
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 And the DJ also, like, allegedly thought that something was off. Like, hey, he thicked up. He was
I like how
Oh.
the guy, the security back there with the longer hair, he ain't buying it.
Yeah.
He was, it's like, he's gonna let this man finish.
That's
I'm gonna
it.
let you finish.
Right.
He gonna get thrown out like
You're
jazz
in too
on the
deep
Fresh
at this
Prince
point.
of
Because
Bel-Air.
really, what can you do at that point? It's like,
Yeah.
if you pulled him off stage, everyone in the crowd is like, wait,
Yeah.
we paid for this. So.
Also, if I was Justin Bieber, I would hit that club and be like, I will be there next weekend.
That's
Can we
it.
do one song? Like, send everybody
Get a
crazy
redo.
and get out of there?
See, if I was the DJ and I thought it wasn't the guy, acapella.
Ooh.
You know, drop the beat. You know,
Yeah,
let's see what
yeah.
you got. And if you still cooked it after that, then you put the work in, and maybe you
Go
were
ahead and
worthy of
finish
it all.
your set.
Somewhere Justin Bieber's walking around in his cowboy boots and underwear, wondering how he got pulled into
How
this.
he got pulled into this? You remember Akon? He came out, did an interview recently, and said that his brother used to go to different
Yeah.
clubs and events and kind of pretend he was him and just kind of collect the fee and collect the money. And he didn't even know when he was performing certain places. Like his brother was just pocketing money, saying that he was Akon. So I mean, this lookalike need to team up with Justin, and they could both,
They could
live it
divide and
up. They could
conquer.
divide and conquer.
I'm also, on the flip side of it, I am not mad at the confidence to, yes. Oh, hey, it's me, Justin Bieber. Yeah, I'll do, oh, no, okay, I guess I can come in for free. Thanks. You want me to do a song? No. Well, okay, I guess I will. I guess I'll do a song.
Only because you asked nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't need a 10,000 bottle of shit. Okay, all right.
If you insist.
Do you think he arrived shirtless to try to complete the look, or did he show up fully clothed?
Yeah.
You know, that's got to
Oh,
go
he had a
throughout the
hoodie.
night.
I'm hearing now.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Well, cool. Well, shout out to this guy, man.
Right.
Pulled it off.
Love it.
Listen, well, let's talk about Audra McDonald, the queen, the Tony queen. She's revealed that she actually had a scary fan encounter after her last Gypsy performance. Here's what she said happened.
Last night, someone not only, I don't even know if they did the stage show or not, but they snuck around and found me the way I had exited from the theater last night and followed me all the way to where I was staying, came into the building, and was uncomfortably close. And then when I finally got some security to help me, their response was, well, hey, I've come all the way, and they named some town, some city that they've come all the way from, and they wanted an autograph and sort of felt that they deserved an autograph. And that is crossing a big old boundary. And I just want to call that out. That's a big no-no. That's now messing with my safety. And it's not.
Not funny.
Not funny at all. Thankfully, they didn't hurt her.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, but that's very scary.
It
Scary.
also speaks volumes at how good she is at what she does.
True.
To where, someone would come from like many states over to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do something that could probably get me incarcerated for quite some time, just to let this person know in a weird ass way how much I appreciate them.
Right.
It's creepy. The creepiest part to me is to follow her all the way to where she was staying.
Yeah.
Like, if I was just like, I have to get her autograph, and I happen to like see her when she hit the street leaving the building, I'm gonna try to get that autograph in the next 30 to 90 seconds.
Right.
Because once you're following somebody down the street, now
That's
you're stalking.
different. That's true. That's
You
true.
know.
Yeah, like there was a young lady, and her name escapes me at the moment, but there was she was gunned down in cold blood in the early to mid 80s, and it was just like a similar situation where it was just a fan who was like super into like the work that she did, and there has to be boundaries.
There
You know what I'm
has
saying?
to
Lennon
be
was killed
boundaries.
by a fan in the 80s.
Absolutely, yeah.
In daylight on the
too.
street.
Yeah, so like, I mean, like, it's great to appreciate people's
Yeah.
work, but you gotta, those boundaries are there for a reason. And like, and sometimes I think it's whack when people have a bunch of security, but sometimes you gotta have
Sometimes you
security.
need it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need it. And I would think, honestly, for her, she's probably thinking, listen, this is New York, this is Broadway. We always come out after the shows. There should be a level of like, understanding that, hey, I do my thing, you do your thing, and we kind of mind our business. But now it's like, even the most C-list, B-list, not that she's either, but you might need security just to be okay on the safe side.
Listen, we used to do a long time. Jesus, being dang near 20 years or whatever. I worked at a bar, and our female bartenders and our female bar staff, we would sometimes, like when we'd be closing up, sometimes you're not walking out of there until after 2:30, 3 a.m. You've been giving drinks to people, they're hanging out in the parking lot, and their cars are not too far from your cars. And so that was a standard operating procedure at this bar at this point in time. It was like, hey, Akila, you ready to go? She's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm like, I'm gonna go with you. Walk you to your car, everything's
I
fine
love
and
that.
dandy,
That's
and
what you
now here
gotta
we
do.
are out. You know?
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Every time, man. Well, listen, we got to run the break. But after the break, ladies, Cam Newton says men want to be left alone. We'll discuss that and a whole lot more after the break. welcome back. Now, Akila, it's always so great to have you in the studio with us. You always cooking, serving it up, man. So what have you been working on as of late?
Yeah, I mean, life has been good. I think the biggest thing I'm thinking about is like the fact delving more into my interests. I really like self-development, self-help. I am a type A planner. And I thought, let's combine all of that. And so I'm creating the stationery business that's really centered around like self-help and again, development. And it's starting with planners. And so I have some, planners up for pre-order. Just follow me at Akilah Ffriend on my TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and you'll have the link to pre-order. We're doing undated versions right now because I'm like, listen, especially 2025, it's your race, your pace. We're not rushing anybody, but come 2026, it's dated. I want what you said on February 1st to match what you're gonna do on March 1st. So yeah, but everything is at the link, and I'm excited for this.
Set those deadlines and give that accountability where it needs to be given.
Right.
And where can people go to find it? You say your TikTok, would you mind?
TikTok, yeah, at Akilah Ffriend. So click the link that's in the bio, and it'll take you straight there to pre-order. And thanks in advance for the support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that. I need to get more on my planning game.
Okay.
Something to be said about writing things down on an actual piece of paper. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes, even though it's convenient to type it, like it takes intention.
Yeah. You write it down, right?
Well, you have to physicalize it and think about it and all the things. You got to do all the things. All right, moving right along. Christina Mackey, who is Rick Ross's ex-girlfriend, was a guest on Cam Newton's Funky Friday show, and Cam offered his perspective on how men navigate their need for space.
Anybody in a long-term relationship will tell you that it's like, there's times where we like rabbits, and then there's times when we're just like penguins. you know what I'm saying?
I don't know how much of, okay, yeah.
But it's just like, I just want, goldfish.
Yeah.
I just want my space.
Right.
But I want you too in my space.
Yeah, I want you too, yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm only speaking about me, I needed to work on verbalizing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
I love that. That's really important. I just want to throw this in there because the best relationship I had, I hope you see this interview.
Oh.
But the best relationship I had was with a guy who, he flew me out and we were dating for a few months, and he said, I want you here, but I don't want to talk. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go out. If you want the keys, here. If you need a card, here. It's here. But I just want you in the home. I just want to know that you're close, that you're here. I want to know where you are. He's like, if that's something you could do for a couple of days, come spend some time with me. But he's like, I don't really want to talk. I don't really want to.
You ready for this one?
Yeah, I really love
Every man to a degree has this in them, but they don't know how to say it. And I'm going to give you, and I'm about to tell you what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Every man wants to be by themselves, but they don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
Huh?
All right.
Sometimes I don't like what Cam says, but I really think he's on it.
He's on it there, right? Okay, so it's true for you both too, right?
Yeah.
It's a spectrum. It's there are times where like I do want that other presence right here and like the contact and the back and forth and whatnot. But there are other times where it's like I want to go off and nerd out on whatever I'm nerding out on, or think about whatever I got to think about, or like to just be by myself in my man cave for a hot minute. I do think a lot of women, like from the moment they might get in the space with a guy, like want all of his attention. How you doing? How you feel about
So
this?
what are we about to do?
So today I went on, and then I was at the grocery store and blah blah blah, and it's like, and I want to give that to you. But at the same time, I also need a little.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sometimes I wish I had unlimited lives so I could blow my brains out in front of somebody as they like can't you see the void in my eyes? That I'm over this story that you're telling me at this time. I want to go.
Listen, but I'm only about what happened at noon. I still have 5 more hours.
Exactly.
I got 5 more hours.
Because sometimes I want to be the only person on the planet, and then sometimes I need everyone to hug me. And you just don't know what it's going to be from day to day, because sometimes you need that space so you can do the things, so you can pour back into people. And then, like, some people don't know when you're in what mode.
But do you communicate it like how Christina said, a certain ex did, or... or are you kind of more right?
I feel like there's no incursive, eloquent way to say "leave me alone." or like I need a moment.
Yeah.
You know, because like I think no matter how you say it, even if you try to say it in the
True.
yeah, I just need a moment right now.
yeah.
We need a moment for you to call that other bitch.
Let me think about it like this though, Ace. You got a whole studio. Like you have a whole studio. You got all these deadlines. You got all these other things you're working on. Could you ever pull the like? I would love to talk about this right now, but I really have to have this deadline knocked out.
No, because when I see that didn't happen, I'm like, okay, what is it? What do you mean deadline? There's no deadline. You didn't do it. You didn't do it.
No, but you got to go and do the thing.
Right. Oh, okay.
Children don't respect
So that-
deadlines. I'll be in my office, door closed, and you can hear stuff going on. Dad, like you hear the muffle through the door, and it's like, oh, hold on one second, and then you get back to it, and you know, because at the end of the day, I don't ever want my kids to say like,
Of course.
Dad ignored me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll take the time.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, like,
Yep.
you know, like.
But that ask was like, hey, I'm just looking for, where's the remote? Or where's the TV? Where's
Right.
this? Like,
But no, sometimes it'll be like, hey, when is that little boo-boo coming?
yeah.
Wait, Akila, are you telling me that women never need a little space in a relationship?
You know what? I was like, I don't know if I'm the anomaly or not, because I actually agree with what y'all are saying and what Christina, like what everyone's saying, because I'm like, yeah, I actually would want space. I want to be alone together. You know what I mean? I want to feel like you're around, but we're not like on top of each other every moment of the day. I need enough space where I can actually tell you what I'm doing.
My mic.
Yeah.
Probably my
So
mic.
like just in
Right.
the same space, not necessarily talking. You're in your book, I'm in my book.
Yeah.
Things are fine. It's
So
not
that
weird.
After the chapter, I can tell you what happened in my book.
Right, yeah.
You can tell me what happened in your book. And it's not like, what I hate or what I would really want to not happen, where it's like, I cannot tell you about my day because you were right there the entire time. Like,
Yeah, that would be frustrating.
yeah.
Now that I think about it, I definitely have had relationships where there might have been too much. We're just like on top of each other too much. Pause. But you know what I'm saying? Like too much in each other's space
Yeah.
where there's like not enough break. I don't know what you would call that.
Absence makes the heart go far.
That's
go farther.
it.
Like
That's it.
that's why so many people had a tough time during the pandemic.
Yeah.
People who loved each other really strong had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And then you realize that like I like these people in spurts.
In
Yeah.
spurts. In spurts.
It is what it
It's
is.
a thing when it's your own family. You're like, dang, I don't really like these people in.
And pardon my ignorance real quick. Christina Mackey, like, other than dating Rick Ross, like, what do we know her from? She looks familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a bit of a fitness influencer.
Dope,
But I don't know. I think Rick Ross, I'm going to just say, Rick Ross brought her on the scene for me. But she probably was around, doing her own thing.
Do you think Rick was who she was talking about when she looked directly into the camera and was like, I hope you see this?
What she said flew me out a couple of months. I was like, okay, check. And then honestly, with that story, I'm like, that sounds like something a Rick would do, right? That gives like an Aquarius energy. Like, let's just,
word.
Also, I've
be
seen
around,
photos
but
of
not
Rick's
really.
place. Like, I could definitely be like, here's the keys, here's a card.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the room a mile over there.
I'll be with the giraffes
Yeah.
outside. You
Yeah.
just
The West Wing.
the West
Yeah.
Wing.
I got things
Yeah.
going on.
We'll
At
see.
some point.
That's funny.
I hope they work it out. I really do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Hunter Woodall, who is a medal-winning Paralympian, and his wife, gold medal Olympian Tara Davis Woodall, stepped by the Ready, Set, Go podcast, and host Justin Gatlin asked Tara if she's ever hid Hunter's legs from him.
Wow.
What a question, but I love it. Here's what she said.
So when you get mad at him, you hide his legs so he can't come after you?
She did it
or-
once.
Oh,
Someone came to clean our house and they did a terrible job. And I had to clean up after them. And I was mad that I had to clean up when I just paid someone to clean up. Well, he's like, you wish you didn't. And I'm like, And he went to go take a shower. I said, I'm gonna go get some food. And I took his leg and I put them up on the highest point of our kitchen. And I said, good luck getting your own food.
She did say that on the way out. She said, good luck in your own food. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude.
so when you came out and saw them, what were you like?
The cabinet's in the kitchen. I was in the bathroom. Hey, the door's cracked to the bathroom. He's like, hello? I know, I took them up. They didn't walk away. And then I like start crawling through the house. Like, this is embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. All fours like scooting around.
Did you see them?
I look up in the kitchen and I'm like, I can't get those. So I have to wait this one out.
So you waited till she got home?
I had to.
Oh, she
I had no
left.
choice.
She left too. It's one thing to do it, but to leave, dang, that's a whole new level of trust.
That's wild, diabolical. But what if she'd have came home, right, and he figured out a way to climb, you know, because when you miss something, everything else is stronger, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, what if he just chimpanzee his way up there, got the legs, popped them on, and she come in his legs just dangling, what's up?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta listen, Hunter. You gotta get your secret set. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Spare legs?
You gotta get your spare legs. Good night.
Fool me once, right?
I know, right?
Yo, like this, I know I'm not the only person who's curious who would win a race between him and Oscar, right?
Oh, Pistorius?
Yeah.
Is he in jail? He's in jail, isn't he? I forget if he's still in jail.
Like, what if they raced and the loser gotta go in?
Damn.
I would watch that race for sure.
Race for freedom?
Yeah, not race
Well, I
for
was just
freedom.
like,
race for freedom.
the men racing on their blades or whatever they
The
call
little quick
them.
click.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
Listen.
That is crazy. She put his legs on the tip-top shelf.
But that is what makes a couple, like the couple goals that we like to say. Like, have fun together, joke together.
I don't know, Akila. I don't know, man.
Maybe because it wasn't my legs. I'm like, listen.
If another story like this comes out, like, yo, she left me upstairs for 4 days. Now we in abuse.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
She took my swimming legs and ran, and what was I supposed to do?
Even the dog was looking at him like,
know.
so what's going on?
Oh,
Listen.
man.
That little dog head turn.
Yeah.
All right.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Good luck getting your own food.
Damn.
See your legs later.
Hopefully they do last forever, like the Keith Sweat song. Rooting for them.
They're gonna have some gorgeous children one of these days. Good Lord. A couple athlete
I
models.
love that. Yep.
Man, so listen, man, we gotta run the break in a little bit, man. But hold on. But this in the back.
No.
Oh,
We have a.
oh.
We're not
Like,
going to break.
could
this yet.
you date somebody who was missing some stuff?
We're just giving you hugs.
Thank you so much.
Oh, he needed his minute.
This is Cam and this is Bianca.
Nah, great.
Love that.
And people love when they see the team, yo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
They know. That was precious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a lot kinder next time. A better, kinder version of myself. Thank you
Now
so
we're
much.
good. All
All right, now we're gonna go to break, and
There
we
we
got more
go.
side dish coming back in 2 minutes.
Yes.
I missed the
He needs more hugs. There we go. 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's good, folks.
And welcome back.
Hey.
So Gen Z is catching a lot of flack for being lazy, allegedly, but a shocking new study from career planning website Resume Templates might back that claim up, right? Now here's some staggering results. Out of 831 Gen Zers surveyed, 77% of them brought a parent to a job interview. And out of those, 40% said a parent sat in on the interview. 34% said parents answered questions. 30% said parents asked questions. 27% said parents helped them negotiate their salary.
Okay, but you know it doesn't stop there. Once Gen Zers get the gig, the study revealed that 86% have parents review their performance reviews, 79% have parents communicate with their manager, 73% have parents help complete work assignments, 57% actually bring their parents to work.
No, something's got to be off here.
Listen.
How old are Gen Zers now? Who are we?
We're the youngest, probably like 24?
Are we talking about?
Or 27 and under, yeah.
Adults,
Yep.
27 and under, brought their parents to their job interviews?
I gotta know what kind of job though.
Thank
Because I gotta know what kind of job. Because this is something serious. The performance reviews, like the things off the clock, I understand wanting to have an extra eye. Because man, if I had parents who really knew what this whole world was about and what to expect, listen, check these papers, check these documents, make sure, give me that extra, insight. But the answering the questions in the interviews.
I mean,
who let these people in?
Shout out to people who got both parents.
Ooh, word.
We're doing it
It's almost like a flex.
Word.
Parents came to the job.
Plural.
I mean, that is a lovely, wonderful thing, without a doubt. I support my kids so much, I was like, you should hire him.
Yeah.
Do you know how clean his room is? Let me show you.
Yeah. James, his resume is great. I worked on it all night.
That's where that TikTok trend came in, where like, my son is gonna tell you about why he needs his job, and I need you to listen up.
But you know what? I think there's something to it because, like, all right, Gen Zers are probably so needy because they were the first ones to get hooked on the internet.
Ooh, it all goes back.
Like, oh, I got it. The internet showed me. The internet showed me. Now you got to go in the real world and do real things and deal with real people.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily do that face in the phone thing. People are going to ask you questions you don't have an answer for because you weren't equipped with the tools.
Or
to
maybe
do it
it's the
without it.
parents that think that. Right? Because that's probably, they're probably the ones forcing their way in. I don't think any child is asking their parents to, hey, come with me to this job interview real quick. Like, I think it's a lot of the parents being like, I don't think you can handle this. I need to be in there.
I would be really interested to know what percentage is what.
Right,
When I was, for sure, even in the last several years, I've absolutely talked to my parents about situations at work and like, how do I navigate this? And like, what do you think? Should I try to negotiate this kind of contract deal? Like that input is invaluable.
It's helpful. But that's off the clock.
That's off the clock.
Right.
Yeah.
That's off the clock.
They didn't show up with you to the contract negotiation.
Yeah. Mom and dad have never been like, let me see that teleprompter.
Now, has a parent ever helped you get a job, went with you to a job interview, etc.? Because like there is sometimes you can get pointers ahead of time.
Right.
Like I remember one time, this was 1998 or something, right? Yeah, in the late 1900s. I went to a job I went to apply for a job at Geico.
Okay.
And that test was so hard.
They got you taking a test. Okay.
I cried when I got home. Because they asked you the same things over and over again, but in different ways.
Right.
To the point where it was stressing me out. Like the test is stupid. They keep
Is the
asking
sky
me-
blue?
but I think, so if you're not prepared mentally for certain things, which sometimes people cannot be,
Of course.
and like granted, I had nobody to bounce that off of,
Right.
and I wish my dad would have prepared me for that. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Yeah. No, I've never had like my very first job was working for my dad. Like my dad had a small trucking company. So my first job was working in the truck shop, changing
ultimate
truck
prep.
tires, like sweeping the floor, that kind of stuff. And so he had me doing that at like 13 or 14, and I did that for like a couple years. But at that point, I had like a manual labor resume.
Yeah.
And so like one summer I didn't want to work for dad anymore. Joke's on you. I have a list of skills.
Fast forward now, Tanner's literally building things. The seeds that you plant grow into amazing trees and fruit, man.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Well, and it's like, HK, also look at your boy. Like, LJ is like, he's putting stuff together with media and creating accounts.
You see?
And like, where did he learn to do that?
I love that.
I don't know. No, I mean, but like that's the crazy part, like how we as kids studied our parents more than they probably thought, and how kids study us more than we think. And it's just like, wow, like you just never know who's watching you and how they're watching.
Who's watching?
Right.
If you're a Gen Zer and you're watching right now, I would legitimately love to hear, like, if you brought your mom or dad or whoever to your interview and how that went and whatnot. And don't be afraid to even DM me about that, because that's like such an interesting,
interesting.
That's something I never conceived of.
I don't know if this counts, but one time my dad wanted me to pee for him for a drug test.
That's fair. It's like, listen, before you go out in this world, I need to know. I need to know.
I don't think it was like that.
No, it was for his drug test.
Oh!
He wasn't going to pass.
All right, well, he brought you to work. How about that?
He brought you to work. Bring your kid to work then.
If he would ask me to do the same thing today, he would be very disappointed.
Okay, moving on. This one's wild because this is in our neck of the woods. Imagine being on trial for murder and the judge accidentally tells you the verdict is guilty when in fact it was not. An Atlanta judge had a major Steve Harvey at the Miss Universe pageant moment during the trial of Alton Oliver, the guy accused of killing an off-duty police officer back in 2022. Alton claimed he shot the officer in self-defense after the deputy made several sexual advances. After 9 hours of deliberation, here's how the judge fumbled the verdict on live TV.
The verdict, lead the jury find the defendant guilty as to all 6 counts of the bill of indictment. Sheriff, will you please hand this to his counsel?
Wait, what?
No.
It's okay.
I said not.
No, we didn't hear it.
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty on all 6 counts.
Ah.
I apologize for my
And that, my friends, is what we call implicit bias.
Talk about it. First of all, like, I love how the defendant is kind of like, listen, another day in paradise. This is how y'all move, so this is what it is. I think it's so interesting that everyone was silent for at least a couple seconds until a couple folks in the jury finally was like, wait, are you serious? Like, is this what we're doing?
It was wild that the jury was more vocal than the family and the defendant.
The jury did not spend 9 hours. all, figuring this out.
Right. I think it's because also, I mean, let's be real, this was a cop and a civilian. The verdicts doesn't usually go out this way. So I think the judge also was kind of used to saying a different verdict when it comes to these parties, because it's like, wait, is this really what happened?
If my memory, you said it was an off-duty officer that he shot who made sexual advances at the defendant. Like, how aggressive were these advances to where, man, I said no.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, listen, we sit here and read words for a living. Right. I have definitely made some mispronunciations and mistakes, and you think you see a word, and sometimes you don't see a word. And then Steve Harvey's a professional, has got as much experience as anybody else, and he can make a big mistake. But then I'm wondering, like, now I need to see the piece of paper the judge.
True.
Right. Like, how? Because if we should not be able to get that close.
Yeah,
that's life-changing.
That's life-changing.
You could have actually killed somebody in the court from shock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of which, after this mix-up, to then try to hush the family for being excited.
Yeah.
Give us a break a little bit. Like we just went through life and death. So I don't know. That's crazy.
Wild. Okay. We're gonna take a quick break, but we're gonna be back in 2 minutes with more Side Dish.
Welcome back. Now, I know we do Tubi Tuesdays and Flick Picks on Friday, but we got to send a shout out and show some love to our homie Claudia Jordan. Her latest project is a movie called Run, and it hits theaters August 29th, and it's a sci-fi thriller that also stars Drew Sidora, Erica Mena, Marquise Houston, Erica Pinkett, and a host of others. Take a look.
This is the emergency broadcast system. If you are hearing this message, we are alerting you that we now know these metallic ships are alien.
Dying all over the world. And they like to hunt their prey. And God bless.
Man.
Nice. I think they got a good one with that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Anytime you take a fast-paced bop and make it spooky
Yes.
sound, right, that's usually a good move.
Take a page of that Jordan Peele book.
Hell yeah.
Right?
So big ups to Claudia and the rest of the cast on the film. It looks like it's going to have you screaming, run, while watching it, man. We're here for it, man. So support that. And we'll see you in 2 minutes with everyone's favorite game.
Whose cousin is it? Welcome back. All right, it's time for everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it? Okay, here we go. You may have heard of wedding crashers, but what about wedding scammers? A Texas man is in hot water for finessing wedding clients out of more than $213,000.
From wedding bells to jail cells, so 12 couples paid for their dream weddings but got nightmares instead because they never happened. And get this, an additional 5 clients actually had weddings but didn't get the refunds they were promised, adding $11,450 in losses.
I already feel like I know who it is. Investigators said he used an alias, posing as the owner and manager of a popular wedding venue in Willis, Texas, swiping clients' cash faster than J-Lo can swipe a ring off her finger. Yoink. One client who dropped $50,000 on a wedding showed up to the venue the day before, and the doors were straight up locked. Oh, man.
The wedding venue villain was thrown in the slam and charged with theft of property, false statement to obtain property or credit, and fraudulent securing of document execution.
Okay. Whose cousin was this?
Whose cousin is
We
this?
we know.
We
know.
I gotta put it.
What?
It's your cousin Tanner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your cousin.
That's 100%
Bring
my
him to the
cousin.
next cookout. I got
I
some
am not
words.
bringing him
I
to-
got some words for him. I got some words for him.
You
That's
had to
crazy.
bring a plate to him.
Yes.
Yeah, Willis, Texas. Never
Willis,
heard of that.
I never.
I don't
That's
know
what got
Willis.
me.
Now I
Because
gotta-
Texas was either or, but Willis.
Yeah.
And the fact that it sounds like he used his probably real name to be able to get caught so quickly. So.
Yeah, and then like the type of things that he was setting up
Oh,
and
alias.
claiming to do. I mean, maybe you used the alias, but
Yeah.
because like I know there was a situation recently where there was a young lady who was being wanted by the feds here for like setting up some sort of tailgate situation for people.
Oh.
That was our cousin who did that.
Yep.
Oh,
Tailgate.
so-
Tailgate.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's kind of a different place, I think, but this wedding thing is a little bit, there's so much more money to be
Money.
gotten in
Willis,
there.
Yes.
Texas is north of Houston a little bit.
North of Houston. So you know what? If I knew more about Texas, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I still think it's my.
Yeah.
I still think it's my cousin.
Weddings, that much money up front,
Yeah.
that many people.
It could be other Texas. There's a lot of folks in
A lot
Texas.
of folks
There
in
is.
Texas. Could be Hispanic.
I'll
Could be
start my
Hispanic.
ballot
Okay.
on other.
Yeah.
Just to keep it balanced on the
Yeah.
scales here.
Could be Hispanic.
So-
I'm gonna still go with Tanner's cousin.
I do feel like it's my cousin. If it's not my cousin, I would throw a dash at other. I would throw a garter belt if it's not my cousin, you know.
We're gonna throw rice at it.
Right? Oh,
Ready to do it?
no.
Did they do that at the wedding?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
cool. All right, well, as we always do at this time, 3, 2, 1, move that van.
Surprise.
Oh,
Wait, Butcho. Butcho Jr. Is that Italian?
Butcho.
I'm gonna Google
Is that
the
Italian? Because I mean,
Butcho the second for that.
The-
fact.
yeah.
That's the second Carl John.
last.
Who's the junior?
cousin is that?
Junior.
That's
Juniors
my
are,
cousin passing.
They're Italians, maybe, but
Let's see.
Butcho.
he's probably another.
Butcho
Carl?
feels potentially Hispanic.
Americanized form of German Bush. In some cases, probably also an Americanized form of Croatian buck or bush.
Oh.
With the little schwa in it. Anyway,
All right.
your cousin.
Yep.
My cousin.
Short version.
Still my cousin.
Your cousin.
My cousin. I'm sorry, did Arlene just yell in my ear? He white. That's messed up to take advantage of folks getting married.
Married.
Because not only are you messing with their schedule, those two.
Everybody else. And that's why we got long engagements. That's why.
See?
why.
Learn from this.
Learn from this.
Akila, if people want to tap in, man, where can they find you at?
Just at Akilah Ffriend on all socials. Like, hit me up.
Get those planners.
Get those planners.
2025 dates a little loosey-goosey. 2026 dates, we're on it.
You get it.
Yeah, man, we set you up for greatness here, man. So be sure you do that. Also, on a social media space, like, what's your content looking like these days?
Yeah, these days it's really about, like, I'm talking about being in your 30s and thriving, letting go of the old, but also embracing the new. I feel like I hit 30 and just everything just went. Like,
Get ready.
Same? Oh,
Get ready.
Dang. Okay, damn.
Yeah, you gotta
It just keeps
run,
going like
you gotta
that.
run faster, jump higher than you've ever jumped
Yeah.
before.
Sounds like I got endless content.
It's all up from here.
Lower back feels great. Oh, God, Jesus. Jesus. You're scared the trash.
I love
No,
it.
thank you.
I got a hug, too.
On behalf of his cousin.
There we go. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.
I'll make you laugh, me.
Hey, y'all, this lady is crazy, y'all. Hey, y'all, welcome to another episode of Scrolling with your girls, Jen and V.
You better
This
believe
is
it.
my crazy friend over here. Jen, introduce yourself.
Jen.
And I'm your girl, Biggereezy. And y'all know what I'm about to say. And as always, tonight we have a fun-filled show for you guys lined up. So tag, invite, message those friends and fam, and tell them it is time to watch Scrolling with your girls, Jen and B.
Ooh.
Jen.
Put some info on there.
Yes.
Okay.
They loved it so much, Jen.
What they do?
And we bringing it back. They just love it so much.
What they
What
love?
we got for them?
What they love?
Come
girl?
on,
What
together.
they
You
love?
ready?
I'm ready.